chaotic, and it has changed my life. I'm a fan of his ever since. I love this collection. Of his most legendary supermodels and more. The four queens of the runway. Fashion, New York Fashion Week is right around the corner. Librarian tonight, and that's because I came to read a bitch. Jaja's Atelier, bitch. Welcome back, guys, to a brand new episode of Jaja's Atelier. It's yours truly, the doll, back with everything high fashion, hot topics, and, of course, politics. So, I am so good. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but doesn't it seem like the days are just flying the fuck by? And on top of that, I'm just glad it's almost the weekend. It's Thursday night. I'm going to, my sister, visiting my sister and my brother Desmond, and the girls it's my happy place, going to Richmond and getting to smell that city smog away from the cows and the tumbleweeds and the horse-drawn carriages in the town in which I live. So I'm really happy it's the weekend. And, what else is going on in my life? I'm still celibate, even though there is a bunch of... Before we get into the show, I'm going to spill a little bit of my personal tea. Let me light a cigarette. So, listen. You guys know I've been celibate ever since my birthday. And it's like when you are on a spiritual mission to not partake in, all of the nastiness, it's like that's when all the fine ass men come out. It was that Hispanic dude I told you that I met at the laundromat, who I still chat with from time to time, by the way. Then it was this white dude on Instagram. Then, I went to the store to get a pack of cigarettes, and it was this black guy that was trying to talk to me. What the hell is going on? It's like, do men know when us women are like trying to just keep away? Is this something that lets them know, no, go fuck up that bitch life right there? She on to something. Go fuck up her life. Like, what the fuck? Now, when I was outside being a skeet bitch, they were few and far between. Now that I'm trying to be, all Diane Carroll about it, now everybody's knocking at my front door. Not interested. I am, but I'm not. Anyway, so let's just jump straight into the show. So Kendrick Lamar has a brand new business venture that, we talk on the show. I talk a lot on the show about us becoming the owners and, of our own stories and telling them the way we want to, and giving, those of us in the Black community that have an already established platform, not slamming the door behind them, but, giving up and coming creatives a chance to shine. And that's exactly what he's doing, according to BOF. Kendrick Lamar is launching his own creative agency called Project 3. It's a new arm of his company, PG Lang, which focuses on video and music production. The new venture will offer services including creative direction, content creation, brand design, strategy, event planning, and production to business in a wide range of areas, from fashion to sport to art. Its creation is the result of PG Lang's acquisition of its longtime collaborator, Frosty Inc., a global creative studio. So he told Business of Fashion this in a short interview, I believe. He said, "We've spent years building the foundation at PG Lang. Now Project 3 agency represents our commitment to sharing that operating system, transforming how businesses tell their stories, and ensuring their messages doesn't just reach an audience, but truly moves and inspires the culture, all while providing new opportunities for the young creatives inspiring us." End quote. Kendrick Lamar, job well done. We've seen other celebrities do this. I'm not going to name any names because the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, it didn't really work. But we've seen a lot of celebrities do this. But the thing that's different about Kendrick Lamar doing it is, this is not just some rapper. This is a Pulitzer Prize winning artiste. It's more than hip hop for him. It's poetry. It's music. It's hip hop. It's everything, fashion. And it's all wrapped in his blackness and honoring his blackness. I mean, if this is going to produce anything like what he did at the Super Bowl with SZA and Venus Williams and Samuel L. Jackson, honey, we're in for a whole new generation of black content creators. Now, in this article, it doesn't specifically say it's only for black folks, no whites allowed. But, it's Kendrick Lamar, honey. We're doing everything black these days, darling. Honey, please, it's Kendrick Lamar. Everything he does is for the culture. So, I'm excited to see the new talent that's going to come out of this. There's no date on when it's to start or how you can sign up just yet. But listen, I might try to get in on the action, honey, because I am a creative. But this is what I'm talking about. It's about ownership. You can't have power and run buckshot over a motherfucking thing unless you have ownership. And again, I've seen a lot of other celebs, do this kind of thing, and then it comes out that they might have taken advantage, not sexually, but, business-wise, or, even look at the case of Sean, P. Diddy Combs, all these years we were thinking, oh, look at all these people that he's putting on pedestals, and only to find out that he could have been allegedly taking advantage of them financially or however, you know what I'm saying? And that's just like a worst case scenario, but we've heard this time and time again. And, everything again with Kendrick Lamar seems to me, and I fully believe, intentional and with good purpose. So I'm really excited to see who comes out of this. Listen, I have this girdle on and my back fat is really itching, and I'm trying so hard for my titties not to fall out this archive fluenza button up, silk button up, darling. But anyway, so listen. Copenhagen Fashion Week is in full swing. Okay, now I have talked about Copenhagen Fashion Week a few times on the show. I think I've been doing Jaja's Atelier, I think, for 2.5 years, and I think we talked about Copenhagen last year. But if you guys have been following me from Instagram from years ago, I started talking about Copenhagen Fashion Week back in 2021 or 2020. That's back when I used to write and just strictly be on Instagram. And I remember everybody saying, all the major fashion publications saying that Copenhagen is where it's at. We're starting to stray away from the usual New York, Paris, Milan, London. We want to see Lagos Fashion Week. We want to see, Copenhagen. We want to see more of Tokyo, China Fashion Week. It was even India Couture Week a couple weeks ago, which I didn't catch too many of the shows with that because, and that's another thing too. It's like we're so conditioned to only pay attention to New York, London, Milan, and Paris that we don't even give a fuck about India, when if you look at designers like Gaurav Gupta, who is just a genius, and all the beautiful opulence coming out of India, you would be a fool not to pay attention. So I will definitely have a couple of my favorite shows from Indian Couture Week on the next episode, which I'll be doing next week. But anyway, back to Copenhagen. Now, Copenhagen is a European country. Well, a European city. Hey, Google, where is Copenhagen?
Here's a map of Copenhagen, Denmark.
Okay, so Denmark, it's a European, so, it's for the whites, okay? But, honey, the amount of black girl magic I saw out there at Copenhagen, honey, it was black women of all different shapes, shades, sizes, colors, from different countries, different ethnic backgrounds, different hair, ponytail, braids, hijabs, skirts, boots, I mean, you name it. Look at this. Fabulosity. And what I like about the Copenhagen street style that I've been noticing over the past couple of years, everybody just wears what the fuck they want. It's never really about the label, although they will tell you, if they're wearing something luxury, they will tell you. But it's not about the label. It's about personal style in the streets of Denmark, Copenhagen, Denmark, darling. And I'm living for it. I loved the representation all across the board. Everywhere you turned, you saw a black woman or a black man. So I loved that. I mean, look at this girl in this Lagos look. I don't know who she is. I tried to find her at her IG page on Instagram, but I couldn't find it. But look at this. Bitch with the zebra print pony hair cowboy boots. Yes, honey. Anyway, so listen, let's get into my two favorite shows because it ends Copenhagen Fashion Week ends tomorrow. So I might have a little extra read all about it from Copenhagen on the next episode as well. So, I'm going to start off with my first favorite collection. Hold on. So, one collection that I was really in love with was Forza Collective. Now, this is a Copenhagen-based fashion brand founded by Christopher Kongshog, focusing on seasonless luxury clothing that blends elements of couture and ready-to-wear. The designer is specifically inspired by the 20s and the 1990s. Let's take a look at this collection. Honey, 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 honey. Now, this opening look right here, this slip dress with the folded front, that suit, I mean... And you know what else I saw during Copenhagen? There's a lot of, I don't know the correct term for it, but I'm going to call it seatbelt weaving. There was a lot of seatbelt weaving through a lot of collections that I saw, but I thought Forza Collective did it right. Just a blend of business casual chic, that minimal business casual that I love, combined with raw sex appeal. I live for that aesthetic. So huge congratulations to Forza Collective and its creative director, Christophe. But, baby girl. Baby, let me show you some of before I get into my favorite show and collection of the week so far, let me show you some of my favorite looks. So we talked about the opening look, this slip dress, but look at the front of the slip dress. I love how it has that kind of wrinkled bed sheet effect. You could definitely go to the bodega and get your coffee in this after a romp all night with your billionaire financier lover. Listen, it's been a while. Give me a fucking break, okay? Also, this look. Honey, this is 80s power dressing at its best. I love the quirkiness of the tie, that strong bob. I love how it's just so fitted and sharp around the waist and around the shoulders, and then it just kind of flares out at the bottom with that, that beautiful peplum and that train in the back. I thought this was everything. And then my other favorite look is this one, honey. Who dares to wear this? Who dares to wear this? Because we are in the era of wearing what the fuck we want to wear, darling. Because we are, sorry, somebody called me. Because we are in the era of wearing whatever the fuck we want to wear, darling. Okay? So, who dares wear this? I would wear this. With my little pudge and all, I would wear this. Fuck it. Either you're gonna like it or you're not. But I love this look. It reminds me of LA-based fashion house No Say So. If you've never checked out No Say So, make sure you check them out. They haven't had a collection out in a little bit, but they do make, currently they're making custom looks for a lot of different people. And this reminds me of one of their looks. Christophe, don't bite. Don't bite. Anyway, no shade, no shade, no shade. So yeah, so that was Kristoff. Okay, now I did a really deep dive on this next collection. Hold on here. If I put this cigarette down, I can get my notes together because I made sure I put my notes together for tonight's show. Now, my favorite collection and show must go to the gifted and beautiful Nigerian nomad and winner of the 2025 Zalando Visionary Award. It is none other than Bubu Ugisi, who shut Copenhagen down with the latest collection from her brand, I Am Isigo. Take a look at this collection, honey. Take a look at this. Now, I immediately went into a deep dive with her. She's been around for about 10 or 12 years. In an interview, again, she describes herself as a nomad. She is Nigerian, but she's lived in Ghana. She studied fashion in Paris, and she's also lived in London. So this is a well-traveled young lady. In her interview that I watched, she really hunkers down on the importance of traveling and discovering different things. She said, you know, you can see whatever you want on social media, but it doesn't hit the same when you see it in person. Another reason why she travels is because she likes to see the difference, the similarity, in garment making from country to country and from different cultures, and how, you know, she talks about how we're all interwoven. There's something that blacks do, that Italians do, that Parisians do, that Egyptians do. We're all woven together. So I really thought that concept, her whole ideology, to me really kind of opened up my eyes to a different thing. Like, you know, it doesn't always have to be black, white, Asian. It doesn't always have to be so rigid and separate, because we're all one people at the end of the day, you know. Now back to the collection, honey. I had to leave a comment on her YouTube page. God, I do not want a nipple to fall out. On her YouTube page, I said, I've been so hungry for fashion and art outside of the European usual that we are conditioned by here in the United States. And this collection was a brilliant breath of fresh air, quirky, culturally unifying, and a perfect representation of African culture to the fullest. I absolutely love it, and you as the creative director. And honey, let's not get started on the accessories. Okay, let me pull up the collection so I can watch it with you guys. Honey, she also talks about using all different kind of unorthodox materials that you wouldn't typically use in dress and garment making to make these looks. Everything pretty much is handmade to order. And I mean, I just love the beading, the way she manipulated whatever kind of material that was to make it look like straw and grass. Honey, these stacked hats, which I just wore a hat like this right before I saw this show. You know, sometimes, you know, style is just in some people. Some people really got to study it, and some people it just clicks for them. I'm one of those people it clicks for, if I say so myself. And if you also take a close look at the models with the wigs on, even the wigs are made out of some kind of twine or something, because at the root of it, it looks like plants that are just starting to germinate almost. I loved my favorite looks. The opening look was one of my favorites. Look at this fucking hat. And speaking of accessory, I love these sort of glass pitcher bags that she had as well. And also these shoes. I love these sort of bulbous, quirky, flat mules. These are everything. And I also loved these kind of like canvas bag looks. I love this. I love how it's all frayed, and then she has the beading underneath. And again, this is one of those looks, like if you look real closely at this wig, you can see like the little germination stems coming out. I thought this was brilliant. And my favorite look of the whole collection was the closing look. It very much gave Paco Rabanne, but in a more original way, if you get what I'm saying. Clock it. Just the way she uses all these crazy materials to make these beautiful looks. And again, this is another look with this sort of handmade, hand woven wig to kind of look like something out of nature. I can't quite put my finger on what it reminds me of. But yeah, huge congratulations. You know, Vogue Business caught up with Boo Boo Ugisi. I don't like saying her first name. I just like calling her Boo Boo, but Boo Boo, they caught up with Sister Girl Boo Boo after the show, and she had this to say about her collection and show and debut in Copenhagen.
It means just spreading the word, spreading knowledge, spreading crafts, spreading heritage. I'm excited that the world gets to see how we create what we created in the different parts of the world. Everything was mostly done by hand. We wanted to work with unconventional materials, working with recycled plastic, recycled glass, recycled metal, recycled cotton also. Oh, what's next? More work.
Always.
I just love her. I can just feel her spirit through the screen, and she just seems like such a oh girl, let's just go have lunch. We'll sew 1,000 dresses tomorrow. You know, I'm sure she's not like not to that extent, like pushing her responsibilities to the side, but she just seems so easygoing and at peace with who she is and where she comes from. And that's, you know, as a creative director of a fashion house, I think that's really important, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna, you don't know where to look, you don't know what to be inspired by, it's not authentic. And when it's authentic, it works. No matter what the materials are, no matter what setting it is, it will work if it's authentic. So huge congratulations to Sister Girl Boo Boo. And yeah, I can't wait to see what else you have in store for us. My light. Oh, y'all, I got a new tripod, and this is one of those ones that move with you. And it has a detachable ring light, but this ring light just died. I cannot get up. Y'all are just gonna have to work with the light that I got. I still look good. So what are we talking about next? So I have some sad entertainment news as it pertains to BET. So, the black-owned television network that we all grew up on has decided to let go of two of its biggest award shows, the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards, which, if y'all remember the Soul Train Awards from back in the day, it originally aired on Fox, who is owned by none other than Mr. Rupert Murdoch, aka one of Donald Trump's former friends. Clock that tea. There have been rumors swirling about the major cancellations for quite a while now. And listen, in a recent interview, the BET CEO Scott Mills got straight to the point when asked by reporters. He said this. Oops. Now see. So the reporter asked him, can you confirm the chatter that two of the annual shows in BET's awards franchise, Soul Train and Hip Hop, are no longer being presented? And he went on to say this. I would say that it's less about them being no longer and more about our team having to reimagine them for this changing media landscape that we find ourselves in. I think that we are going to see that more people they fucked this all the way up. Franchise say this might have started on linear television, but now I'm going to move it to another space. Do I move it to streaming or do I move it to another platform? Well, honey, BET already show on Hulu and Paramount Plus, I believe. Anyway, so for BET Linear, we have suspended the Soul Train and Hip Hop award shows, but we have a team that's actively thinking about where those award shows might best live as the media climate continues to evolve. They aren't gone, and we also still have the NAACP Image Awards and the Stella Awards. Notice how he didn't mention the regular BET Awards. Are they going to cancel the BET Awards too? Listen, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in on what I think about it. BET has been struggling for years. BET has not been the same since they got bought out after the last CEO, Deborah, I can't think of her last name. When Bob Johnson left and Deborah came in, and then BET, I believe, got bought out, it was downhill from there. What I will say about the BET Hip Hop Awards is, if you want that Source Awards kind of flavor, then you need to run that late at night. So these people can get on there and say what they want to say, rap how they want to rap, and you don't have to worry about no FCC fines. Because the BET Hip Hop Awards does get a little spicy at times. But music isn't the same anymore. I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and she was like, well, girl, I mean, we see these celebrities all the time. Who gives a fuck about seeing them on the red carpet? We see them in their homes. We see them with their families. We see them at the grocery store. We see them on the toilet. Social media has changed the landscape of a lot of things. I mean, do the kids still watch the award shows? My nieces don't. They don't give a fuck about that shit. They give a fuck about that TikTok. They do not watch the BET award shows. They don't watch the MTV. Nobody cares anymore. I mean, it's even gotten bad when the celebrities, they're not even talking about the celebrities at their movie premieres like that. Not even the major fashion publications. So should we just throw them all away? I don't think that's the answer. But I do think that the celebrities, because they essentially need the BET Awards for their careers, that helps you put your music out. Yeah, you have social media, but, I said this years ago when Donald Trump was running and we found out that he was in bed with Elon Musk. What is everybody going to do that makes a whole lot of money off of social media if they decide to shut the grid down? And all we might have is TV. Then what? You know what I'm saying? I think the answer isn't to cancel award shows. I think the answer is for the celebrities and these networks to find a balance and to come to an agreement. Even these record companies should get involved. Like, hey, post on social media maybe once, twice every 2 weeks. If it's not about promoting your music, don't be all up on, you have to find a balance because people are flooded with celebrity gossip, and, the celebrities are now so desperate for the attention. A lot of them put it out there themselves. So listen, I think the solution is to find a happy balance in between how much these celebrities give their life away on social media and, how much music can we stream? What can be watched on streaming and what could be watched on linear television? Because the fact that BET runs the BET Awards on VH1, MTV, BET, and streaming, that's part of the problem right there. The BET Awards should not come on any streaming network. You should have to tune in and watch it on linear television. You can't turn something into something that it's not. Anyway, I also think that BET needs some new owners because I don't know what the fuck. We used to have College Hill. We used to have Miss Cedar's World. We used to have the Teen Summit where they used to go around to all the HBCUs and, have different concerts and, what happened to all of that? You know, we had our own set of reality TV shows, Baldwin Hills, you know, following young black children of black elites in, you know, in LA. You know, we had, again, college shit. Like, what happened to all that stuff? Anyway, so this is my last story, y'all. So, listen, everybody has been talking about Kamala Harris. Where is Kamala? Where in the world is Kamala San Diego and all of that jazz? And she has a new book coming out. And, hold on. She has a new book coming out. And so she's been on a press tour for the book. I'm about to pull it up. I thought I had it in my notes, but I don't. So I'm going to have to log on my social media and find it. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, that BET shit is crazy. They know it's no sense in acting like BET is still what it used to be, because it's just not. And I think people need to again stop making something that it ain't, because it ain't gonna work. It ain't been working. Okay, let me see if I can pull this. Okay, now this is the other part of the story that we're gonna talk about. Hold on, y'all, give me a minute. I just knew I had this story in here because I don't remember exactly what she said. Hold on, let me see if it's in here. Okay, here we go. I have it. All right, so she's on a press tour for her new book, and in the book, she's talking about the 100 days that she ran her campaign for the presidency after Joe Biden dropped out of the race. So she sat down with Stephen Colbert, and she said this.
You're not running for the governor of California.
Correct.
Even though in early polling you beat every other candidate by double digits, you said you're going to sit this one out. Why are you sitting this one out? Are you saving yourself for a different office that might be?
No. Recently, I made the decision that for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I think it's broken. I believe, and I always believed, that as fragile as our democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our most fundamental principles. And I think right now that they're not as strong as they need to be, and I just don't want to, for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I want to travel the country, I want to listen to people, I want to talk with people, and I don't want it to be transactional where I'm asking for their vote. Doesn't mean we give up. That's not my point.
Okay, because that's what I'm hearing, like you don't want to be part of the fight anymore.
No, oh, absolutely not. I'm always going to be part of the fight.
Okay.
That is not going to change. Right. I am absolutely going to be part of the fight.
Yeah.
A lot of mixed reviews on social media. I don't blame her. I have said this on the show before. I was not the biggest fan of Kamala Harris when she was running for president against Joe Biden when he won this last time. I, like a lot of people, fell for the ignorance. Oh, she got black men locked up. Oh, she did this. Oh, she did that. Oh. And I didn't do my research. And I was talking to my cousin, and my cousin was like, listen, you need to, read up on her. She's thorough. And I did. And I was pleasantly surprised, and I immediately retracted my statements and hunkered down and got ready to vote for her. In doing that, and watching her run for those 100 days, I have never seen so much vitriol hurled at a woman by her own people. And the night before the election, I remember she was on the TV, and I said, I don't think she would be mad if she lost. I said she looks deflated. She looks like all that vitriol that woman had to endure. I don't blame her. And another thing that I liked about what she said in that interview is she said, "Oh, I'm still going to be in the fight. I just don't want I just don't want my interaction with the people to be transactional." That is somebody who is for the people. I've never heard a politician say that. Never. Me personally, never. I never even heard Obama say that. And I'm not throwing shade at Obama. I'm just saying, I have never heard a politician put it quite like that. And I'm glad that I have people around me that think outside of my boxes, because had I not, I probably wouldn't have never voted. Well, I would have still voted for her because I ain't no fucking fool, but I would not have championed for her the way I did in those 100 days. And I'm glad I did, because that 1 minute clip just lets me know what type of person she is. You know, we have a lot of these politicians that are in it for the money and the greed and the notoriety and for the power and the control of the people. When in fact, our country keeps on stating that, oh, we're for the people, oh, we're for the people, but the government does not show that. The American government, a lot of the times in many different situations, whether it be healthcare, whether it be housing, whether it be food stamps and SNAP benefits, they use that to their advantage. And they also use it as leverage against the people. And it's really disgusting, especially what's going on now. I've never in my lifetime thought I would be a young person, because 35 is still young, bitch. Don't get it fucked up. Witnessing this. It is exhausting. It gives me anxiety sometimes. Listen, I'm a black fucking trans woman. I don't stand a chance in hell. Let them tell it. For black women with children that they're raising on their own, it is absolute hell. For black men who are just trying to go to the grocery store and they're driving a fancy car, they've worked hard, to be pulled over by the police, it's hell. For Latino people, the Hispanic people getting scraped up off the street, out of your job, your child comes home and doesn't know where you are, it's hell. But I don't blame her for not wanting to get back in the race. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. She powered through those 100 days like a motherfucking bull in a motherfucking china shop. Are there things that she could have done better? Could she have gone on Joe Rogan? Could she have done this? Yeah, but would you have done it if you were her? Now, this is one of those situations where you say, you need to shut the fuck up because you wasn't there. You'll never be in that space. This is when you pull that card. And then we have more commentary about it from Mr. Holland Tunnel Hairline himself, Mr. Stephen A. Smith. Take a look at what he had to say as a black man with a huge platform.
I hope she makes a boatload of money with this book. I hope that she, does a tell-all and she breaks it down, and this nets her millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Because I hope y'all don't think for 1 second that she's got a chance to win in 2028. She doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. There is no way America will pick Kamala as a Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States in 2028. It won't happen. It just won't happen. It's too much there to hold against her. They're not going to do it. She had a chance to win a gubernatorial seat in California, I believe. But evidently, through her research, she found out that may not have been the case. Or that was a job that she didn't want, or a combination of both. Hey, the presidency ain't happening.
Stephen A. Smith, And who the hell do you think you are to make that assumption? As a black man with a major platform, why would you even want to put that impossibility out in the universe? You know, you always use black women as your punchline. And it's getting really fucking old. It's getting really fucking old, and it's really disappointing because, again, you have a major platform. You are in a position that a lot of us other black folks are not in. And instead of using it to uplift your community, and I don't give a fuck about them turkeys that you pass out on Thanksgiving or those puss-ass scholarships that you give out. At the core of you, you are a misogynist, tap-dancing porch monkey. You've never done what she's done. What degree? Hey, Google. What degrees does Stephen A. Smith have?
According to Winston-Salem State Athletics, Stephen A. Smith, having earned a degree in mass communications at Winston-Salem State University in 1991, has excelled in print and broadcast sports journalism.
I didn't see nothing on that, scholarly resume about being a lawyer, being a politician, being a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. I mean, that's cute for you, but you're not changing the world by talking about who dribbled the basketball better. And was it not you just a couple months ago, and ha-ha with Donald Trump? Yeah, I might run, if I get an endorsement from my man, Mr. Trump, big dog. Wasn't that you? You are sitting up on stage talking over Skype or whatever it was with a man who would rather see you as a leather footstool than where you are right now. And you have the unmitigated gall as a nigger to sit up on your major platform and disparage another black woman. Thank God. Well, hold on, because I don't know. Hey, Google. Does Stephen A. Smith have any children?
According to Yahoo Sports, Smith is a father. He actually revealed all the way back in 2019 that he has not one, but two daughters, Samantha and Nyla.
That's unfortunate for them. Anyway, y'all, that's today's show. I love y'all. I'll be back next week with more what? Fashion, style, hot topics, and politics. Ciao.